All right, Calc, welcome to Yak Math Videos for your quiz review video. Chapter 1 quiz, or Chapter 3 quiz number 1 is tomorrow, folks. Really, on this whole review, you really only need to use the quotient rule twice, the product rule maybe a few times. Other than that, it's just basic power rule, all right, as you see in 1 through 4 here. Okay, guys, in 4, write f of x as first, negative 13x to the negative fourth. Bring the power down, subtract 1. You can FOIL number 5 really quickly, then take the derivative. Just rewrite number 6 here, fraction of exponents, and take the derivative. All right, guys, on 7, I would just rewrite using fraction of exponents, and then divide both by x to the fourth. Don't use the quotient rule there. Then take the derivative. Same thing here. Distribute x to the 3/4 of both, then take derivatives. All right, it is when we get to number 9 that we maybe think about the product rule. You could distribute that and then take the derivative. All right, I would want you to simplify something like that fully. So let's take a look here at number 9. Remember, the product rule is the derivative of the first times the second plus the first times the derivative of the second. So that's why take the derivative of that, multiply by the second function there. We'll just call that the second function, plus the first one right there, times the derivative of this guy. All right, then yes, you are to simplify, and there's your answer. Guys, on 10, the quotient rule, remember we kept saying low, d high, minus high, d low, all over the denominator squared. Basically, you take the denominator, that function, we just call that, again, maybe two separate functions there, and then multiply it by the derivative of the numerator minus the top times the derivative of the denominator. Okay, so basically you got denominator, you've got denominator derivative of the top minus the top derivative of the denominator, all over the denominator squared. Right, 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3, you have conjugates there. Got, so the x's there cancel. And then just be careful with the algebra. You can leave your answer like that. That is fine. Take a look here at 11. You guys know of the chain rule now. In fact, that's what we're using here in 11. You can also just do 3x minus, or 3 minus 7x, 3 minus 7x, to get 9 minus 42x plus, 49x squared, and take the derivative of that. That is fine. Number 12, you might want to use the product rule, or you can distribute x minus 3 to x squared plus 3x plus 9. Take the derivative of that first parenthesis there, multiply by the second, plus the first, times the derivative of that parentheses. All right, put it all together. Yes, you are going to simplify, and there we go. Guys, on 13 through 18, just take the simple derivative, folks. Take the simple derivative. You might have to rewrite your function like here in 13. That's the 1/2. Take the derivative of that, then plug in your x value to find the slope at that given point. It is 1/8, and then write it here in point slope form. All right, take the derivative, and we got it there, 4x minus 3x squared. Then plug 3 in for x. The slope at 3, negative 9, for the tangent line, of course, is negative 15. Point slope form for our equation. Take the derivative, 4x to the third plus 6x minus 5. Plug 1 in for x. Slope of my tangent line at 1, negative 1 is 5. Point slope form. 16, there is the derivative. Plug 2 in. 18 is the slope of my tangent line, and there's my tangent line's equation. And then here we have 17 and 18. 17, just take the simple derivative there, plug negative 1 in, you get 13 for the slope of your tangent line. You are going to have to use on 18, and you will have one like this on your quiz, you're going to have to use the quotient rule. So actually, got to use the quotient rule 3 times, it looks like. All right, so you have... And we made, it looks like, in terms of doing this correctly, looks like we made a little boo-boo. Now we are filming this here on carpet, so it might be a tad more difficult to make. Anyway, folks, we're going to change this real quick. We have low times the, I think we got Yogi here making a visit, times the derivative of the top, low d high, minus high d low, derivative of the bottom, okay? All over the denominator squared, no big deal. Distribute that. That is now going to be 2x minus 4 minus, what is that, 2x minus 3. So it looks like we get a negative 1. Again, low times the derivative of the top minus the top, times the derivative of the bottom. Aha. All right, so it's going to be negative 7. All right, we did things kind of opposite, so make sure it makes sense that our answer is going to be opposite there. So my slope is going to be a negative 7. All right, low d high minus high d low. Okay, you're going to have to remember something like that. Denominator, derivative of the top, minus, that's why order matters, because you're subtracting, minus top, derivative of the bottom. Okay? Anyway, moving on. Instantaneous velocity, folks, just the derivative there. And negative 32t plus 105, then plug 2.5 in, and you get 25 feet per second. So that's the derivative. That's the instantaneous velocity at any time is the derivative of that function. So on all of these, you just plug in 4 for t. Then you just plug in 1.5 for t. And then lastly, you just plug in 1 for t to get those instantaneous velocities. All right. And take a look at 20. Velocity is a derivative of speed, so there's the velocity function. So when it says find velocity and acceleration as function of t, give me the function. And acceleration is the second derivative of speed, or the derivative of velocity. Anyway, there they are. Find the acceleration after 2.5 seconds, so plug 2.5 in to the acceleration function there. 38 feet per second squared, if I'm not mistaken there. Find the instantaneous velocity at time t equals 3. So use the velocity equation there. All right, 44 feet per second. Find the first and the second derivative. All right. I would not use the quotient rule on 22. I would just divide, when you divide them both by x to negative 3 halves, you're subtracting. When you subtract negative, you're really adding 3 halves to both exponents, and then take the derivatives. All right, you can use the chain rule. Remember, bring that exponent down. Write that function, take the derivative of that function there. All right, or you can FOIL that. You would have 25 x. Let's write this over here again. If you just wrote it like this, it would be what? 25x squared plus 30x plus 9. So the derivative of that would be 50x plus 30. And the derivative of 50x plus 30 is just 50. Remember, derivative of a constant is 0. All right, that one's pretty easy to do here, 24. And let's lastly take a look at 25 through 27, get a little bit more interesting. I would divide out that x to the 1/2, so subtract 1/2 power up top from all those exponents, and then take the derivative here. You definitely have to use the quotient rule. Now, could be a little bit easier on yourself if you were to notice everything has an x. You can cancel out an x, so you can work with that. Anyway, low times derivative of the top minus high minus derivative of low all over the denominator squared. I think you get some reasonable cancellations there. Again, please check my work. This was made quickly. You could distribute, get 6 terms, break that, clean that up a little bit, and go from there. All right, or you can just do the product rule. Derivative of that first parentheses times the second plus that first parentheses times derivative of the second, and then do all that algebra. Yes, I want you to simplify that. All right, so take your time. Anyway, folks, this is Yak Math Videos. This is your Calc quiz review, and we are signing out.